Friday, or you're probably going to watch this on some other day, or years from now, or not at all. So I don't know why I bother to tell you what day it is, but the plan is to do answer a question or two on the YouTubes, the video format of me talking into my iPad with mountains behind me on my deck and no shirt. So once the weather gets worse, you'll stop seeing me. And I just do it. The only reason I'm really doing this is to pass the time while tanning. But anyways, what I want to talk to everyone who bothers to watch this today about is I got a question asking about their first contest. Everyone is always nervous about their first contest, and once they do it, they're kind of hooked, and they realize it wasn't as big a deal as they thought. You kind of just have to get that first one out of the way and realize that if you miss a lift or other people are stronger, no one's going to sit there and point and laugh at you. Chances are, the worse you do, the more people are going to be cheering for you, because everyone wants everyone to succeed, and, well, for the most part, and most of everyone is very supportive, and it's such a small sport that we just are excited that it's not the same 10 people at the show that were there last time. So one of the biggest questions when doing your first contest is, should you do open or novice? And it's a fairly simple question in my opinion, but there is some other factors to consider. First off, if you can do the open weights at all, go open. The way I see it, I used to race motocross when I was young, and I didn't have a mortgage payment, and I spent $15,000 plus on a bike and ate peanut butter and jelly sandwiches every day, and that's all I ate. That was really smart. But anyways, when I started, I jumped a couple classes. I did my first race, and then I just skipped a whole division. And a lot of people were, they're like, well, don't you think you could get an easy trophy in this one? I said, well, I'm already good enough to be in the mix at, I think it was intermediate. So I just saw the lower level as a stepping stone. Like, I need to get this. I need to, be able to compete at this level long enough to get good enough to be at the next one. All novice is it's a lower barrier of entry. So if you already are able to do most of the events in open, then just skip that lower level of entry, and you're going to be ahead of it, because a lot of the time, if you're on the upper end of the novice class, it's not really strongman, because it's going to be a light enough weight that people that aren't at the strength level ready enough to do open are able to do it at all, which is the point. If you cannot do open at all, you do novice. If the open weights are kind of heavy, or there's one or two events, like, let's say the deadlifts, 10 pounds or 20 pounds above your max, and there's a high chance of you zeroing it, but you can, complete the course, or, get a distance on the yoke, or, you might not, kill it, but you can still do it. It's not completely out of your strength level and skill level, then you should do open. Because if you do novice and then you're at the upper end of strength level of novice, you're probably going to have to do like 20 plus reps on a deadlift or overhead, etc., to win. Because, like, let's say it's like 180 pound, log clean and press for reps, and you're a strong guy that can do 250 something, you're going to have to do a ton of reps to be able to be at the top of that class, because there's other people in the class that are just looking for a trophy that are, intimidated to go open as well. So do open, because that's not really, you're testing a whole different domain of strength and fitness by having to do 15, 20 reps in an event than you are in what strongman is. And in my opinion, strongman is under 10 reps. If you do 20 plus reps, you have no business being in that class. Sorry. And saying you did great is cool, and you win a show, that's okay. But not to disparage or talk bad about anyone who does place in a novice contest, because that is a accomplishment. But for me, I give more. I have more respect for someone who struggles and fights for 5th instead of 6th, or second to last instead of last, and actually challenges themselves in the open class, than I do someone who just goes out there and just kind of mops the floor in the novice. That's my opinion. When I started, there was no such thing as novice, and I sucked. But I pushed myself, and strongman the point of strongman is not knowing that you can do something. What's always attracted to me to an event is I look at something and I go, well, fuck, I might not be able to do that. And then I train going, I better be able to do that in 8 weeks, 10 weeks, etc. So the point is to push yourself to achieve things that you previously thought were not possible. So if you tried to go the easy route, then you're not doing that. And you might get a trophy, but at the end of the day, you're just doing yourself a disservice. The other thing I want to talk about is in the heavyweight class, especially heavyweight men, novice makes a lot more sense and works a lot better, because a lot of people are attracted to strongman because they're a bigger guy, and it's an avenue where it doesn't matter how big you are, you're just judged on your strength. And a lot of people that happen to be big, which general population will call fat, they have a higher than normal level of strength. That just kind of goes hand in hand. Mass moves mass. So there's a bigger gap between being able to be ready for heavyweight open and being in the novice class. There's a bigger gap between novice and heavyweight open. Like, the weights are damn heavy in heavyweight open. And a lot of people that get into the sport for that reason are, they might take this the wrong way, but this is just facts. They're over fat and under muscled. So you might get some guy who's 320 pounds, and that's a big guy, but he has a lot higher body fat percentage than, let's say, like, the guys at World's Strongest Man that are 320 pounds. That's a big difference. It's the same scale weight, but one has a lot more muscle mass on their frame than the other, so one's going to be a lot stronger. And, it takes time. Like, strongman is great because it gives those people a way that gives them a goal to then get in better shape and lose a lot of that body fat and kind of recomp and get healthier and all that. But it also takes time. It might take time for them to diet down to middleweight, or 265 or 231, or just to kind of get healthier. But I guarantee you that you're going to want to shift that scale more towards being over fat and under muscled, to being somewhere in that nice realm of looking athletic. And because mass moves mass, but muscle still contracts, and it's going to serve you a lot better, not to mention your own health. So if you're in that situation, you're going to want to probably stay a novice for a long time, because once you make that jump, it's a lot harder to get ready. It's just it's heavy. Like, especially a legitimate heavyweight open show is going to have somewhere around the range of 300 plus overhead for reps, deadlift 550 plus, 600 plus, 330 plus stone for reps, talking 800-pound yokes. These are heavy weights, and if you are just simply not strong enough, struggling with them is only going to get you hurt, especially if it's someone that's just coming from why they got up to 320 pounds. They might have been somewhat sedentary for a long period of time, so they're just not going to be ready. And if you try to move weights like that, you probably will get hurt if you push it before you're actually ready and put the time in. So in heavyweight open, there's a lot more reason to stay novice longer and keep working on that. And and it's not bad to be novice. It's just you need to not sandbag and remember that the point is to push yourself and to challenge yourself. In the women's classes, at the most local level shows, because there's just especially if you're not in the Northeast where there's a ton of women, there's not that many girls signing up, so even the open weights are somewhat low. There's not really that big of a difference between novice and open. There might be a 20, 30 pound difference in weight of an event, maybe, depending on the event, of course. So I think most, especially in the women, from what I've seen, most of the girls that sign up for novice are probably ready to go open right off the bat, but they are just kind of not as sure of themselves. So I'm saying, be sure of yourself, ladies, and just go open and push yourself. You'll be stronger in the long run. And another point is that it is okay to zero. Zeroing happens. Some of the best strongmen and women in the world zero an event at every level. There's people at World's Strongest Man Finals that's going to go on in a couple weeks that will probably zero an event. The deadlift's like 7 something for reps. Someone might not get it, or not complete the entire distance on the yoke, which is stupid heavy. It's like 450 kilograms, whatever that works out in real measurements. So it's okay to not finish in zero. That is what strongman is and what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to challenge yourself. It's not, in my opinion, supposed to be a foot race. It's not supposed to be a rep fest. But if you have a lighter show, more people sign up for that. So if you are at that level where you're worried about shows being too light, now then you need to go out there and put it all out in the line and actually sign up for shows that are heavier. So be ready. If you're gonna zero an event or two, or there's a chance, still sign up for open. It's okay. I'm talking about specifics on. We're talking about specifics on how if you are already doing novice, the technical rule in NAS is if you place top 3, you have to go open. Of course, there's no way to track. There's no system that actually tracks this other than the honor system. So there's people that are just going to stick in novice and do that forever. So, end of the day, remember, strongman is about challenging yourself and accomplishing something you thought previously you couldn't. And for a lot of people, that is just doing a show at all, lifting an Atlas stone at all. That might be the first thing. That's usually your first goal. So if you need to, if it's an easier situation for you to actually get past that first challenge of just proving to yourself that you can do it at all, then sign up for novice, but don't be scared to go open if even if one of the events or 2 of the events are a little over your current capabilities. Challenge yourself.